Welcome back to the channel, Duelists. I'm Helix101. We've got a lot to cover today in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I'm going to take the opportunity to discuss my thoughts on the KC Cup event. We're going to take a look at some of the recent updates and things that have occurred in the game, as well as the new event that's coming next week, bringing back Exodia the Forbidden One, but not quite how you expected him to. So first and foremost, let's talk about the event that's starting next week. That's right, special duels are coming to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. As you can see, when you start a match, the skill set by the player will not activate and cannot be used. So that means that we're not going to be able to use any of our regular character skills for our decks. Instead, our skills are going to become something called Grandpa's Cards. And from the looks of it, reading on here, it says that the skill Grandpa's Cards automatically activates at the beginning of the duel, sealing the 5 pieces of Exodia in your deck. So, the right leg of the Forbidden One, left leg, right arm, left arm, and Exodia the Forbidden One. It's going to be interesting because I know that there's been some leaks from the data mining that shows Exodia being utilized. I'm assuming that once you get the 5 cards in your hand and you activate the skill, then you automatically win. Even if you have, I'm not sure if you need to have the full board cleared out of the way in order to actually activate this ability, considering that normally in the past you would need to have the 5 slots in order to actually activate. Because this game only has 3 lanes for both spells and monsters, I'm curious how they're going to pull this off. I don't know if you're going to need to have 2 spots available in your spell and trap zone, as well as the 3 spots in your monster field, but we'll definitely check it out next week once the event starts. So there are going to be event rewards for this, and it is a PvP event, but from the looks of it, from rookie rank 2 to 3 you get 15 gems, bronze rank 1 you get 50 gems, bronze rank 2 to 5, you get 15 gems. Silver rank 1, gold rank 1, platinum rank, and king of games, you get 50 gems. So it looks like it's going to be replacing the ranked matches again. Now I want to talk about some of the updates that have happened recently since the last time I made a video. The auto duel feature has been expanded. What that means is that now you can use auto duel for legendary duelists in Duel World, as well as the Vagabond, which, thank God, makes things so much quicker and easier to level up your characters. Now, the only time that you can actually use it against legendary duelists is if they actually appear in Duel World. If you try to go to the gate and use it there, it's not going to work. Again, I wouldn't really recommend also if you're trying to farm for specific cards, so if you see a level 30 or 40 duelist, then take advantage of it. Don't use the auto duel feature. As well, stage and character level caps have been increased. That means that the highest stage players can reach now will be from 50 to 60, along with new missions and rewards. As well, the character level cap is being increased from 30 to 35, so there's going to be some new cards that have been introduced into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Now, the Kaiba Cup finished a while ago. I ended up in the round, I think, the 1,200 range. So I got all the way up to 10-star rank with my different decks that I was using. I actually have a few episodes recorded, 2 episodes specifically, of 7-star and 9-star gameplay. If you guys want to see that, please let me know in the comments. The reason I didn't get a chance to get them uploaded last week and even earlier this week is there's been a lot going on in my life right now. My sister just gave birth to twins, which is amazing. I'm an uncle now. And I like to edit my videos a little bit more, so it does take a little bit longer to get the videos out. But if you guys want to see those, please let me know. I will definitely post them up. I actually showcased 2 different decks compared to my Furin Trap deck that I had in the previous episode. My thoughts on the Kaiba Cup: could have been handled better. Especially if it was supposed to be a region-based event, you shouldn't have had the option to pick regions. The fact that most of the top players in all the regions were foreign, Japanese, says a lot about how the event was a little bit broken. People from those regions took advantage of the fact that they've had the game longer, they have stronger decks, and they just went to town on us. Not only that, there was a lot of rampant hacking, so players that used hacked APK files to be able to see what kind of cards we had in our hand. It really put a sour taste in my mouth and even gave a little bit of anxiety when playing because you never knew what you were going to run into, and people were just doing crazy counters to everything, and you just were left sitting there with your mouth open looking like an idiot. I know that Konami has opened up surveys for this event, so please everyone, if you have the chance, give your feedback. There's the actual comment section at the end. I wrote a lot, as much as I could fit in the comments, and hopefully they'll be compensating us in some way because I know that it wasn't set up well that way. The fact that they got away with it pretty much. I know that some of them have been getting banned recently. The fact that they even got to push us down the ranks in the first place is a little bit frustrating. Another thing I wanted to discuss with you guys, and obviously this is going to be my own opinions, you let me know what you guys think. And if I learned anything from the KC Cup, it's that some cards should be limited or even forbidden from play. Now let's start with some of the obvious cards. E-Controller was a nightmare to deal with, and the fact that everyone has this now is just even more of a nightmare. This card should be, in my opinion, limited. Not banned, limited. The fact that you can activate this at any point and target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change the target's position, or attributing one monster and then you take control of that card, is pretty strong. It's like a buffed version of Sphere Kuriboh, minus the fact that you have to have it on the field instead of just being able to just play Sphere Kuriboh's ability from your hand. It's a broken card. Honestly, I feel like having this paired up with Sphere Kuribohs, multiple Sphere Kuribohs, and multiple of these is just a nightmare to deal with when you're playing in ranked PvP. Now another fun card that everyone and their mother love to use, Order to Charge. I feel like this one should be limited. The fact that you would run into multiple of these spell cards was just a nightmare. It was just a nightmare, especially dealing with Rex Raptor decks. I believe in the higher levels of the KC Cup, even around like rank 8, 9, and 10, you would see this card in pretty much anyone's deck. Didn't matter if you were a Rex Raptor or a Bandit Keith, this card was probably going to show up, especially paired with a lot of these monster cards, the normal monsters that you were seeing like Jerry Beans Man, Digrapher, and even the new Dark Witch from Valkyrie's Rage. It was a pain in the ass to deal with, so anytime that this showed up, or anytime a normal monster came up onto the field and you saw two cards go behind it in terms of the spell trap zone, you knew one of them was going to be Order to Charge. Super annoying card. I believe that it shouldn't be able to be used more than once per game, because this, when it happens more than once, it's a nightmare. It just clears the field and they have a clear way to just decimate you. Now for Weevil decks, this one I'm a little bit on the fence about whether it should be limited or even not banned at all, but I ran with two of these. I got lucky and actually got two of these cards from Valkyrie's Rage, and it is super strong, especially if you're fighting off against a Weevil deck or someone that's just being very passive and not wanting to attack you in case your monster is something that's going to, you know, give them bad debuff. Or even help lock them down after they attack you. This is great for causing a lot of damage if you have multiple cards of this on the field. So I actually won a few matches by playing two of these and just waiting and sitting back and watching the world burn, so to say. What do you guys think about this one? Burning Land, whether it should be banned or even limited. Now for everyone's favorite card, Mirror Wall. That's right. Now I do own two, and I will say this card is pretty nightmarish to deal with, and everyone ran with this, either multiple cards in the KC Cup. I was forced to use two of them because of the fact that everyone was doing crazy shenanigans that just you needed to have that additional backup. Now the only thing though is, this is the one that I'm on the fence whether it should be banned altogether or it should be limited to one per deck. This is one that is the first of the list that I've been looking at that I think should be considered for possible banning from being able to be used. It's just so strong. You pop this, you're pretty much going to get a clear field, and it's really good for turning the tide. I believe that that should only happen once per game. I'm going to be able to use this and be able to turn the match around, potentially, if I use this correctly, or even save my life points. I think that's how this should be used. And the fact that you can pay 2,000 life points and keep it going on the field is, it's good. It's a really good card. It's maybe too good. But this one might be a thing that Konami considers putting into that limited category or even banning altogether from being used in ranked PvP. It's just that good. It's a really good card. It's a fun card to use, but a little broken. And running with multiple of these was just annoying as all hell. This little here. I have some thoughts about Sphere Kuriboh, and it is a really good card, but it's also very annoying, and I think this one should definitely be limited to one per deck. Having multiple of them, and which I do, and I've run some decks with two, especially in the Kaiba Cup. Again, they forced my hand. They forced my hand in that event. That event just brought out the worst in people, I believe. I've run into decks that have had 3 Sphere Kuribohs, and when that card just flips around and you know that that's coming, it's just heart-crushing. So yes, definitely I believe that Sphere Kuriboh should be limited. Limited to 1. You get that chance and it's done. You can't do it again. That's not fair. You shouldn't be able to use Sphere Kuriboh more than once. Until then, obviously, I'll probably be running with 2 of them just to piss off people, because that's just how it is right now. That's my suggestion, is that it should be limited to just 1 per deck. Let me know what you thought on my opinion towards the banned and limited cards that we talked about in this video. Actually, and let me know if there's any other cards that you think deserve to be on the chopping block, because I'm sure there's probably some that are probably OP as all hell, and we just haven't looked at them or talked about them in depth. These were a little bit more of the obvious ones. I think the only one that might have come as a surprise was Burning Land. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts on. I love hearing what your opinions are, and I can chat with you guys about it in the comments section. Alright, that wraps up another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please drop a like below if you enjoyed this video. or also subscribe so you can be notified whenever more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links content does come out. Also remember to check out my good friend Darman's YouTube page in case you are looking to get some tips and tricks on Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. He's got a great channel, so go check him out. The link is in the description below. Please remember to let me know if you want to see those KC Cup duels that I recorded. I know that the event's over, but if you do want to see those videos, let me know in the comments below, and I'll definitely look at getting them edited up for next week. And I'll see you all on the next level.